You've been vocal about this. You said now is not the time to sit down and shush up. So I want to talk about how your announcement was received. First, by your colleagues. Let's talk about how they received it personally. Has anyone reacted to that, supported you in private?
Oh, in private, a lot of support amongst colleagues. Of course, the institution publicly, Washington, D.C., MSNBC, Twitter world, that's a whole different world. But what I've discovered very quickly on the campaign trail is that's a big, big gulf between that world and the real one. And that is tens of millions of Americans who are rejoicing about having choices when 70+% of the country wants neither Donald Trump nor Joe Biden to be the two choices. That's part of what is going on right now in our country, a massive disconnect between Americans and the people who ostensibly are representing them in Washington.
Congressman, I've had the privilege of talking to Republican and Democratic strategists as well as voters around the country. And you are right. No one that I have talked to said is particularly excited about what it looks like to be a rematch of 2020. But I do want to talk about some of the things your colleagues have said publicly. Congresswoman Annie Kuster, she's a Democrat. She said this to Politico, quote, "It's threatening the success of the Democratic ticket from top to bottom." When you hear things like this, that you're a threat to the institution per se, what's your response?
Well, if I was down in a national poll to Donald Trump, like the president is, if I was losing in 5 of 6 battleground states like the president is, if I had historically low approval ratings like the president does, then I would understand why someone might say that about me. But if you want to be objective, I believe there's only one person who is posing a risk to the Democratic Party's future, and that is President Biden. He's a good man, but that is not what the country is telling us right now. And as someone who believes in numbers, politicians lie. That's the truth. Numbers don't. And to anybody who would say that I'm the problem, I just don't understand that perspective, because I don't think I've done anything to hurt Joe Biden. I've only done something to help him. I voted for his policies. I was a member of the Democratic House leadership team that helped market those policies. I did not do anything to hurt the president. I've tried to help him. But the fact of the matter is, Americans, the people that count, it's not Congresswoman Kuster, it's not anybody in Washington that really matters right now. It's people who vote. Thank goodness, because we live in a democracy. So what I really care about is not what people in the Washington Beltway are saying. What I care about is what people around the country are saying, and it's really clear. Life is totally unaffordable for most people right now. We have issues at our southern border and a national security crisis that is real. We have wars around the world. We've got an environment that is at risk. We've got gun violence. We have people sleeping in streets, kids going to school without food. We have no mental health care system. It's time for a new generation to take the reins and actually get things done. We're relying on people who've been in Washington for 5 decades, who are telling us that if you just give me 4 more years, I'm going to get it all done. Well, that's not what's happening. And I have respect for the people that have said these words, because I believe at some point they're going to see the light and recognize what's at risk. And none of us, not Representative Kuster, not Representative Clyburn, not anybody in my party, wants to see Donald Trump win in 2024. So I would rather we unify behind that, ensure that we have the best candidate positioned to beat him, and then we'll see the light.